Hello there. If your Nissan Primera P12 gets stuck in snow, sand or mud, you may need to tow it out with another vehicle. That's fine, but to avoid any damage, it's important to only tow it from the recommended points. Now, according to the owner's manual, this car has 2 towing points, one at the front and one at the back, and in this video I'll show you where they are. Welcome to CarSpyTV. Right, let's start with the towing point at the front of the car. What we need to do first is find a hole. Okay, now that hole is just up here. I shall show you. There it is. Can you see that? Here's a close-up. Next, we need to find a towing eye and screw it into that hole, and luckily there's one in the boot. Now to find the towing eye, all we have to do is lift up the carpet in the boot, and just like that, and we see a whole shelf full of tools, and this is the piece we need just here. One towing eye. Now before inserting the towing eye, it's worth just checking the thread is clean and removing any debris from around the hole is then more likely to go in easily. And once you're happy, just pop it into position like so, and then turn it clockwise until it's tight. There we are. Now, if you can't get the towing eye tight enough by hand, there is another way. Simply pop back to the boot, which is all the way down here, and grab yourself this wrench. This, of course, is what we typically use to undo the wheel nut if we get a flat tire. And also, while you're here, get this thing, which is part of the jack. And when we use these two things together, we can get some mechanical leverage that makes life easier. I'll show you how. So what we need to do is position the wrench like this with the socket at the top facing that way. And if we have a look down here, about 3/4 of the way down the shaft, we can see there's a hole in the shaft. There it is. So if we now move our attention to this piece of the jack, which as we can see has a curvy end there and a pointy end down here, well, we need to push that pointy end through the hole on the shaft of the wrench. And then we end up with that. Next, we need to push the head of the wrench into the towing eye. Just like that. And then we can push down on this piece here and get some leverage. There we go, nice and tight. And of course, if you want to remove the towing eye, you can simply use this technique in reverse and out it will pop. However, I tend to leave my towing eye in place because then if I do need it, it's ready to go and I haven't got to fish around in the boot trying to find it. In contrast, if you want to tow from the back of the car, it's a much simpler affair, and that's because there's a hook permanently in position and it's always ready to go. Now the towing hook on the back of this Nissan Primera is easy to find. It's over here on the left hand side. So all we need to do is have a look down here under the rear bumper. And there it is. Now before we finish, there are some important final points to consider. For example, in the owner's manual, Nissan makes it absolutely clear that the towing points I've shown you are only for rescuing the vehicle if it's stuck in snow, mud, sand or something like that. In other words, use them to drag the car 20 feet to safety. What, for example, you shouldn't therefore do is rely solely on these towing points to drag the car 20 miles down the road to the garage if it breaks down. these towing points are not designed for that kind of use. Nissan also emphasises in the owner's manual here that these towing points are under tremendous force and to always pull the cable straight out from the front or rear of the vehicle and never pull at a sideways angle. Good advice. Anyway, that's all for now, but before you go, don't forget to subscribe to CarSpyTV. That makes it easier to find my other videos. Can you also please do me a favour and click like on this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.